Hey friends, I'm Olivia, the Southern Yankee Stitcher. Today is Monday, August 25th. I just came in the door from work and I wanted to make a big announcement to you, so I decided to share it in my Flosstube. They woke up since I got home. Now they're going to be crazy. Okay. I have some stitching to share with you. I have some haul. I have a big announcement. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to show you my stitching. Then I'm going to tell you the big announcement, which I'm really excited about. And then I'll go on to haul. And I have haul that I've got some stitching haul and some estate sale haul. So I was excited about some of the things I got. I can't wait to show you all. So far this August, I have stitched every day. But I've only stitched on three projects. There's one that I'm trying to push to get finished. It's a gift. So it's a start. You haven't seen it yet. And I was hoping to show you a finish by the time we did the video, but I wanted to do this announcement. So, but before we get started, last video, I forgot to announce the winner. I had a giveaway of some counting pins that were winter and Christmas themed. And the winner of those pins was Sheila Loves Greg, 3489. Sheila, I think I may have your address from maybe a couple years ago, but if you would just email me at southernyankeestitcher@gmail.com and I will get those pins out to you. Thank you for participating. All right. You hear the phone ringing? I have a landline. We never answer that phone. None of us even get up to see who's calling, because if anybody wants to reach us, they call on our cell phone. They don't call our landline. It's always junk. I don't know why I still have it, except, I don't know. Old school, I guess. I just can't give it up. I don't know. Anyway, let me get on with the whips. I'm going to try and make this as quick as I can because I have a lot to share with you today. My last video, I showed you I was working on this project, Chestnut Springs, and I've showed y'all this a lot. It's my childhood home chart that I designed, and I wanted to get the house done. Well, because I didn't want to forget anything that might be like, I was off a little bit one place. I made some changes. And so it's hard to see, but all the house is wood except the foundation, like here in this first floor. It's kind of wow, it's weird how that's picking it up. It's stone down there. Well, I didn't do the stone yet, but I did do the rest. And this is how far I've gotten. It really looks like, can you hear that? Sibling affection. It really looks like the house. It really does. I'm working on that. I have to decide how I want to fill in the windows. I think I want to put some curtains in there. This little, it's kind of an octagon. It's really like a hexagon. It was a hexagon or octagon. No, hexagon window. I don't know how many sides it was. And there was a stained glass piece hanging in it that was the exact size. And so I want to go back in this little octagon window here, I'm going to call it that, and put some colors in there to give you an idea of the stained glass. So there are a couple little things that I see as I'm doing it, and I'm like, oh, I want to add this, I want to add that. I think I am going to add some back stitching to the house to really give it a lot of detail. Stop. Stop. Goodness. They're looking at me like, what? We didn't do anything. Okay. My next whip is, where's the picture? Here it is, At Home by Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle. And it's a stone house. I love stone houses. Love them. So anyway, Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread, At Home. And I had all the border done, and let's see. I should learn from other floss tubers and have a board to put my stuff on, but I guess I'm stubborn. I had all the border done. I didn't do any border, and all these flowers and motifs were done here. The fence and the trees were finished. So, and actually the grass and the steps were finished. I did more grass. I did a little bit of the deer just because I was finishing up the color that was in my needle. I like to finish what's in my needle if I can. I did the door and the house, this part of the house. So that's about, you know, maybe a quarter of the house. I love the way it's turning out. One thing I want to show you, this, I think most of the, it's called for, let's see, it's called for floss, but the fabric is 36 count embellish by Atomic Fabrics. So it's just called Atomic, yeah. Now, a friend of mine, Crystal, is working on this chart too. And these flowers here, this color is called Mountain Mist. Her Mountain Mist, this is actually showing up a little bluer in the camera than it does in person. Mine is kind of a minty green almost. Her Mountain Mist is very blue. And I recently just, I'll show you my haul, ordered some Mountain Mist for a project, and I wanted the blue one. Asked for that, and what I got is not real blue, maybe because they didn't have it very blue. I need to remember the next time I'm at a LNS to look for some of the blue. And I'll show you why in a minute when I show you my haul. So that was At Home, and that was a whip go pull, and I worked on that 3 days, and I think that was it. I just worked on it 3 days. The next one is a new start. It's out of the Let Love Rain book by Teresa Kogut, and it's this piece on the back called Love Your Family. And the quote on it, in case you couldn't read it, says, "If you want to change the world, go home and love your family." And that's a quote by Mother Teresa. I'm doing this as a gift, and I don't want to say who, in case they see this. They probably won't, but just in case. And I've been working on this a lot this month. Let me tell you, that grass, I still have a few rows at the bottom. And then on the other side of the sidewalk, it's not done. I have not finished it yet. The man doesn't have a beard. I wanted to pull another color for the beard than what I had, than what was called for. So the other just, I thought it blended in too much with his coat. All right, so that is Love Your Family. See a little bird up there. I love, now I'm using, it's all DMC except for 2 weeks dye works. And the lines on the windows don't show up real well. My color, I mean, I'm sure DMC doesn't really fluctuate that much in color, but it's just not showing up the way I hoped it would. It shows up better in person than it does on camera. It's strange how some things are the opposite. But I think I might just do a little white back stitch on the inside of that like wood trim in the window sills to highlight that a little bit. So I'm gonna be working on this. I still have Easter Bunny chart. That was the other Whipco pull, and I will work on that. And want to get this one done here. Want to get this one done this month. So, yeah. All right. All right. Before we get to haul, I have the big announcement, y'all. There is going to be a retreat in Greenville, South Carolina, next May 15th through 17th. It's called Stitch Carolinas. I mistakenly wrote on the paper that I'm showing you that has the logo on it. That's the logo, Stitch Carolinas, and there's the dates. If you want to find information on this, you can go to Facebook and see Dottie Crisp, her Facebook page. She shared it there. You can go to Instagram to Stitching Scotty or to Shelly K Stitches. They both have links to register for the retreat. And I'm gonna give you some details about the retreat. But first, let me tell you, okay, Instagram again is Stitching Scotty, and also, or Shelly, SHELLEY KAYE Stitches, all one word, Shelly K Stitches, or Stitching Scotty. See those on Instagram or Facebook, Dottie's Facebook page. Dottie's worked hard on this. We've got together a team of, I think it's 7 of us, who are working on this retreat, and it's going to be amazing, let me tell you. It's going to be held at the Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, which is in downtown Greenville. If you haven't ever been to downtown Greenville, South Carolina, there's a lot to see and do. There's a lot of shops down there. There are a lot of restaurants down there. A park, you can go walking, you can see some waterfalls. There is a lot to do within walking distance from the retreat. Okay, that's just talking about the town. If you drive there, there's parking deck. It's not going to be a problem. If you fly in, I believe there's free transportation to take you from the airport to the hotel. A lot to do in that area. But as far as the retreat goes, let me tell you, we have a featured designer. Chrissy of Finally a Farm Girl is our featured designer. She has designed a beautiful pattern for all retreat attendees. You will get that pattern. You will also get it kitted up as part of your package. It's a beautiful pattern. You will love it. Chrissy is very talented. She's going to be there. She'll have her trunk show there. Where there's other trunk shows that will be there, and there are other vendors. I know of probably at least 5. I mean, we're still working on that, but there are going to be quite a few vendors there. So, and there's a cross stitch store that's not too far, a pretty short drive from the venue. So, let me just read to you. If you go and find the link, you'll see all this information, but let me just share it with you anyway. Again, May 15th through the 17th, 2026. Okay, you're going to get the exclusive chart by Chrissy of Finally a Farm Girl. You get some swag. There'll be games and prizes, door prizes. We'll do a small exchange. There'll be a brag table, freebie table. An exclusive Facebook group is being set up for all attendees. It's called Stitch Carolinas. And there are a block of rooms that are at this hotel. It's a beautiful hotel. I've seen pictures of it. Dottie has gone to see it herself in person. Really nice, really nice. And the group rate is $179 a night. That is a good rate. I would say, we have a block of rooms that are at that rate, and I would suggest that you do that as soon as you can and register as soon as you can. It's going to be limited to 100 people. You know, this is the first retreat that we've done, Stitch Carolinas, and we hope there'll be many Stitch Carolinas in the future. But right now we're just going to limit it to 100 people so that we can do it and do it right instead of trying to overdo it, if you understand that. There's lots of information about the stitching room and you know, the hotel and what they offer to you. But if you are not on Instagram or Facebook, send an email to me, southernyankeestitcher@gmail.com. Okay, I will then email you a link so that you can get registered. We are, it was just put up live this morning. I was, you know, watching it to see when it popped up, and very excited about it. Unfortunately, I was at work, so I really wanted to get on here earlier to share this with you, but anyway, it'll be a cat-free retreat. No cats will be there. I don't know what else to tell you right now about the retreat, but we have, like I said, there's a team of, I believe it's 7 people, and everyone has something that, you know, has a different talent. And man, there's going to be some really neat things there, trunk shows and vendors, and we'll share those later as we get a little bit closer. But let me tell you, you will not be disappointed. You will not be disappointed. And I hope that you all can come to this gathering. It's called The Gathering Place, is our theme for this year. And yeah, just go check that out and get registered as quick as you can. The cost is $200, and that, you know, it really includes a lot. We are gonna we're gonna do a lot to make you feel satisfied. You know, Dottie has gone to many retreats, and she's picked up ideas here and there, and other people, everyone else on our team has ideas from their experiences at retreats, and we've kind of put them all together, and it's gonna be great. I mean, I'm really, really excited about it. I'm gonna be working on some games for y'all, and I love to do games. I want to make sure we have some good prizes too. So that's the big announcement. I don't know what else to tell you about that, but like I said, just email me if you can't find the link. I will do my best to keep checking my email and to make sure that I get that link to you just as quick as I can. And you know, you can always send me a message, you know, on Facebook or Instagram if you need to. But if you're on those platforms, you can probably find the link pretty easy if you look at Dottie's page. So. All right, well, I have some things to share with you. I was going and picking up all the things. I went to an estate sale this weekend and got a good bit, and I had gone thrifting last weekend and got a couple things, just a couple little things. And in the midst of picking these up to bring them in here, in the kitchen here to show you, I saw something I had made that I hadn't showed you all, and I did this several months back. But a friend of mine has a pottery studio, and she offers like parties. Well, I guess you call it a party. Once a month they have a project, and you can sign up to come, and they'll have everything together for you, give you some ideas, and then you just kind of make it your own. And it's not like spinning a wheel pottery, it's like sheets of clay that you mold. So the last one I went to, well, the first one I went to was for Empty Bowls. It was a fundraiser they do every year. Different organizations in town make bowls. They could be a woven bowl, they could be a wooden bowl, they could be a pottery bowl, they could be all kinds of things. Anything from kids in school to some serious artists making these bowls. And they donate them all to the Empty Bowls dinner that they have. And so you pay so much, all these bowls are donated. You pick out one of the bowls as you go in, and then you get your soup. It's like soup and sandwich kind of thing. And you can put it in the bowl you buy, or they'll just give it to you in another bowl if you don't want to mess up the bowl you buy. So that's how I got started, where I made 2 bowls to give to them. And so the first time I went, I found my own bowl, which is kind of rare because they have it on a couple different nights and they are just putting out a few bowls at a time, you know. So there's a good variety for everyone who attends. So, but I got my own bowl, and guess who knocked it off the table and broke it? Mr. Orange Cat Ranger did. So I went back and I made this other piece, and they were doing toad houses. And this is the toad house I made. And of course I named it Chestnut Springs, the name of my childhood home, because even a toad needs a happy home like that. That was not me. Add a little toadstool in there. It's just, this is like a stamp you put on there to make that. And then I made leaves and a little acorn on top. So that was his roof. I haven't put it outside because I didn't want it to get messed up, which it'll be fine outside. It's fired, so it will be fine. But I got it. He knocked over some of my haul, I think. No, actually I got it. It's just my water bottle. So anyway, I wanted to show you that. That's not stitching related, but that is something I made recently. I did place an order with Gowron Stitchery. I needed some floss. And so, let me show you what I got here. I needed Confederate Gray. I needed Mountain Mist. Look how blue that is compared to the, do you remember what I showed you in the project? The other Mountain Mist? Let me show it to you. I mean, it's crazy the difference. And really, I haven't, oh, you know what? Okay, I'll have to look up and see. Well, one of the problems is, this is Mountain Mist by Weeks, and this is Mountain Mist by the Gentle Arts. Very different colors. I don't know if, hold on, I gotta look now. I gotta look. Oh no, it calls for Gentle Arts. The At Home does. But Crystal's that she got was very, very blue, where mine is very mint. All right, so Weeks Mountain Mist, and I did that is what I was supposed to get. Sand. Normally when I buy one, I buy 2 just in case, you know, like I have to frog a lot out and I need some. And then this is Seafoam. The Mountain Mist I got for this chart that I'm kitting up, Sally Spencer. Y'all, since I've been stitching, there are 2 charts that were like my unicorn charts. And I couldn't find them. One was Coming to America. It's the women on the Mayflower. I think that's the right name of the chart. Anyway, it was put out by With Thy Needle and Thread, and it was an exclusive, like a box. You got the whole kit and a project bag and everything to go with it for the anniversary of the Mayflower. Well, I didn't get one, and I wanted one. Well, then she re-released it last year, I guess it was, maybe the year before, and I got one. The other one was Sally Spencer. I've looked at this so many times on eBay, and it was crazy prices. There's something about this. I love the colors. I love how that is. And I even looked at some of my other samplers and thought I could just do the same colors as Sally Spencer. But then Sherry from Colorado Cross Stitcher is remastering the Birds of a Feather charts. And this is one of the first ones she did, the first couple of months. So this Mountain Mist goes with this chart. That's why I was working on kitting that up. And then another chart that I showed you, I was working on kitting that too. It was one by the Artsy Housewife. So I got those threads so I could kit those up. Let's see. Then that's all I got from Stitching Store. Then I got this. I don't know how old it is. I don't think it's too terribly old, but it's a wooden, it's a kit. And look, it only costs $1.29 to start, so you know it's got some age on it. But it's a wooden heart, and then it's got your threads and everything in there. Well, I don't know that I will do this pattern on this heart, but it was at a thrift store for 50 cents. And I thought I could do something else on that heart if I decide to. Now I could just do the blue and yellow, which they are pretty colors, you know, but I don't know where I would put this or how I would use that in my decor. I probably will use this to do some kind of vintage looking Valentine something. Just trying to find a little motif. Then this is this was at a thrift store as well. And my daughter saw this. She's like, Mom, you have to get this. This is like you. I mean, this is just like the stuff you like. And I said, well, okay, I'll have to get it. And it says, buttons keep my coat together, but you keep me warm inside, stitched by Edith. And, you know, it's not old, not antique, but I guess that says, I'm original. I don't know, I can't read everything on there. But that's the crafter who made it. I'm sure that she did craft shows, and that's just cute. And it was very inexpensive. I don't remember exactly how much. Then our thrift store holds all the holiday things to put them out at the appropriate time. They put out their fall, and they're 2 little pails. Well, do you remember last video, maybe the video before, I showed you a little kit I got that was a pail, and it had a little thing you put in the stitch it put in the top? I can do more than one now and give it as a giveaway, as a small exchange or just in my own decor. All right, then I went this weekend. One of my coworkers was helping a friend clean out the house of her mother. Everything was given to a granddaughter who's 22 and didn't really like vintage, antiques, old things. So she was emptying the house and then gonna sell the house. And so they spent a lot of time going through it, and they have a little like antique shop open, but then they had some things that was just too much, they need to get it done. So they decided to have a estate sale, and she told me about it. She knows I like to shop for antiques and such, and told me about it, and I've been looking forward to it. So there's some things I decided I want to collect when I see them, and I'm not sure why, except it just makes me happy. I can't tell you why. One of them is old yardsticks, and these are really old yardsticks. Yeah. One's from a hardware store in the town I live in, and I've never even heard anybody talk about it, which means it's probably very, very old. Then I also got some rulers. Now the lady, I forgot to say this. The estate was from a lady who died in the last couple years, and she was like 90. She had been a home ec teacher for 30 years. So she had a lot of kind of stuff I like. And she had things that she probably gave to her students. And this one is a ruler. It says, it looks brand new, but it's not brand new. A rule to prevent forest fires. Smokey's friends don't play with matches. Now, how long has it been since you had to talk to kids about not playing with matches. You know, they're lighters now, they're not matches. And then a good rule, it's got the golden rule on there, do unto others as you would have them do unto you. And it's put out by the Coca-Cola bottling company. So I got those rulers because I just thought they were neat. And I always use a ruler. I'm always looking for one in my craft room, and I can just keep them all stuck in a little container. This probably came out of her classroom. It was rolled up. It was rolled up all the way and had a little safety pin holding it closed. And I took the safety pin off. It was about to start to rust, but I love flags, and you can tell that one has some age on it, and so I really loved it. Then I picked up some of these. I didn't get all of them. My friend had actually gotten a lot of them, the coworker friend, and it's the spools that are wooden. She got a bunch of them, and she put some in a gumball machine, which I have a gumball machine, and I've been saving sewing tomatoes to put in the gumball machine. And no, she just has these in a jar, in a basket or a jar. She had buttons filling the gumball machine. That's what it was. But anyway, so I just got those. And then I got, well, this basket I got a couple weeks ago at the thrift store for, you know, cheap, very cheap. This is a vintage basket from probably like the 60s, maybe the 50s. This is the kind of Easter basket I had and all my siblings. And I guess nobody wanted their Easter basket. I ended up with all the Easter baskets. So my kids had the same vintage baskets that belonged to me and my siblings. Well, I still do Easter baskets for my children. And that includes my daughter-in-law. I include her when I say children. That's a given. And then for each of my grandchildren. So I keep getting more grandchildren, so I need to buy baskets that match when I see them. And I do these vintage baskets, is what I do. Well, I hit the jackpot, y'all. And I'm not even gonna pull these out, I don't think. This is all, well, there's one card of Jingle Bells. And they cost 14 cents at Rose's, on sale from 28 cents. Rose Stancil, I hope you're watching this. These are some pencils, and I didn't even know I had this in the bag. I picked up things, and I think it was in my hand when I was sorting, and I ended up putting that in my bag. But the rest of this is all rickrack and what do you call this stuff? Binding, seam tape, bias tape. So like all these right here are all bias tape, and all these are rickrack. There's some of the tiny rickrack, like that. And here, I am gonna pull out a few to show you because the price tags and stuff were just like, I couldn't believe it. Okay, here's a rickrack from JCPenney. And look, can you see that? 8 cents. 8 cents. Then there's some larger rickracks. This was also 8 cents from a different place. It's still in the cellophane. And there was, let's see. Well, this must have been more recent. Here's the fat rickrack, and it's 59 cents. So, hey, inflation. I'm thinking this is like from the 70s. But these, and there's a bunch of those, much older. But I have some of these rickracks and bias tapes that were in my mom's sewing things, and I have used some of them that were just kind of wrapped up like this and didn't have a label or anything on them anymore. And I used some of those, but the ones that are still in the packaging, I didn't want to I didn't want to open them. I know that's crazy. I'm buying this because I'm supposed to use them, but I won't feel as bad as opening these and using them as I would the ones that were my mom's, because they were my mom's, you know. All right, I'm not done. Oops. I got this. It's a magnifying glass. Now, my hands, you know, I don't have a lot of strength in my hands, so I can't tighten this up right now, so it will stay at a place. But this is just going to be like probably on my husband's desk, his roll top desk, where I'll do a little display. Well, let me show you this other one first. And then this one is another magnifying glass, and it's cast iron. It's pretty cool. Now, this is a sad thing I'm going to tell you, and I haven't done this on purpose. But when Hurricane Helene came through, I had he's going to knock stuff off. Oh, I had a old church window that, okay, the church I grew up in was built when I was like an infant. The one they tore down and they replaced it had these windows that came up to a point, and they were painted glass. Well, years after they tore down that church and built the new one, they kept the windows stacked up. And at one point they had an auction to sell those off. And my parents bought them. And then they sat like in our shed or barn for years and years and years. Well, when my mom sold the house and downsized, she gave to me and two of my sisters, she gave us each windows. Well, I had mine, at one point I had it hanging in the bathroom over a tub, and then I moved it to our screen porch, and it just hung like it was a window inside one of the screens. Well, during Helene, that thing was flipping and flopping. I mean, the glass got broken in it. It was just, I thought it would have been protected some being where it was, but it wasn't. Anyway, I still have the frame. I don't have any glass in it anymore. And the screen got ripped. Well, right outside the screen is a beautiful butterfly bush, and the butterflies have been all over it this year. Well, butterflies keep getting in the screen through that hole, and I guess they can't get out, or because they're dying in there, or they're dying a natural death. I don't think so. I think they can't get out. So I have some beautiful swallowtail butterflies, the yellow and black ones and the blue and black ones. And I have some shadow boxes that I'm going to mount them in. I mean, I didn't kill them. I wouldn't kill them. I love butterflies. That's why I have all the flowers I have. But I thought I could put some of them in a shadow box. He's about to play with the camera. And put these around it like you're looking at specimens on my husband's desk. And I thought that would be a cool, like, little arrangement. Okay, one last thing. No, I lied. Two last things. You know, whenever I go thrifting or antiquing or anything, I kind of look at picture frames, and I'm always looking for some for stitching. There were 3 or 4 boxes full of picture frames at this estate sale, and a lot of them were not old. And if I had really had time to go through and really look at them, I would have, but my daughter and her boyfriend were with me. We had a plan. We went in there. My youngest daughter wanted a couple of things, and we went and grabbed those first. And anyway, I was just kind of not in the mood to look at a bunch of picture frames, but this one was laying on top. And I know it's just a plain little gold frame, but I liked that it had the ring on top, even though I wouldn't hang it by that. And I liked also that it's made sturdy. Like, you know, a lot of frames on the back, the cardboard wears out, and then they just stop. He's pulling packs of the bias tape out of the basket. Bad. You know how the cardboard will wear out, and then they'll either like open real wide so your picture isn't standing up, or it'll break off. Well, this one's really sturdy. And it's got the ribbon there to hold it and keep it from going too far. It's got a little age on it, I could tell because of that. And so whether I put a photograph in this, or I don't have a lot of brass, but I do have some stitching that looks good in brass. So I just grabbed that. But there's another frame I grabbed that I'm excited about. I haven't really cleaned it up. I just kind of wiped it a little bit with a wet paper towel, and a lot of dirt came off, and I'm sure there's a lot more dirt to come off. This is it. Now, my daughter first said she wanted it, and then she said, I don't want that man I don't know hanging in my house. I decided I don't want that. Although, normally that doesn't bother her, that kind of thing. I just want it for the frame. Now this is apparently a family member of the people that live there, but they have no idea who it is. So they sold it. I'm gonna put stitching in this. And I thought at one point, hey, I could put Chestnut Springs in there because it's so personal and meaningful to me. But as I thought about it, I thought even better, Mother's Tree. When I stitched the Mother's Tree, if you all haven't seen it, it's done by, I think it's Lavender and Lace. I looked real quick before when I got home from work to see if I could find the chart, and I couldn't put my hands on it, but I know I have it. And just in the last couple of weeks, Pam on Just Keep Stitching showed hers. And she showed a picture of her and Barbara from Keepsakes. They did it at the same time, and how they got it framed up. And they were just showing some, because they didn't have a finish, they showed an old finish. And I just think it will look so pretty in this frame. What it is, it's a big tree on the top. Looks kind of like an oak tree to me. And then it says Mother's Tree. And then you go back as far as you can, following the mother's line. You know, normally you follow the father's line, but this is following the mother's line. And you put like, let's say they were born 1800, and Olivia Reynolds, and then, how is it listed? Well, somehow it says, then their daughter is, and it lists the next one. And you go all the way back. If you go from the bottom up, it would be my daughters, me, my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. Keep going back that way. I can't, for the life of me right now, I just can't remember the verbiage, and I would look it up on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone, so I can't do that. But that, I hope, will be an heirloom piece when I stitch it. I'm still not exactly sure how to do it with two daughters. But anyway, I will look into that. And I think that's what I will use this frame for. It's a wood backer behind the photo, and it's very old, very old. So I'm kind of looking forward to taking it apart and maybe see if there's a name on the back of this picture, and maybe it can help the family out that way. But at any rate, those are my finds for the last couple of weeks and my stitching for the month so far. And y'all go check out Stitch Carolinas and get registered. You will have a great time. I'm telling you now, there are a lot of people really excited about this, and a lot of people really working hard on it, working real hard. So I hope you all can come, and I will see you next time with some more stitching. So take care, and Sheila loves Greg. Send me an email with your address, and I will get those pins out to you. Thank y'all. I'll see you later.